number 4. Make a donation. The cookie money? If you haven't guessed it already, I'll tell you what happened to the cookie money. I spent it on Lena and Lana. After they told me how they didn't have enough money for lunch, I bought it for them. I didn't tell them where I got the money. I bought them each lunch every day for a week and a half. Each day we got to go to the cafeteria and I would buy them spaghetti or fish sticks or hamburgers and ice cream for dessert. On the way home, we would stop at the pizzeria and I would buy them slices of pizza for them to take home. The first day, it was hard to spend the money because I knew it wasn't mine. But each day, I saw how happy Lena and Lana were. But each night, I couldn't sleep because I knew it was wrong. Every day I wanted to tell Mom and Dad, but each time I chickened out. I promised Lena and Lana I wouldn't tell anyone. I was still worried about Lena and Lana that night after Mrs. Cotton made them go home. I couldn't go to sleep. I was wondering where they had gone. Maybe they hadn't found the key or called their aunt. I began to think about the cookie money. It was Monday night. If I didn't find a way to put it back in 6 days, everyone would know how I spent it. What was I going to do? I tried to think of an excuse to tell Mrs. Jones. Maybe I could tell her that somebody had stole the money. But my parents would know that wasn't the truth. And what's worse, I know it too. Maybe I could just say I lost the money. Or should I just tell Mrs. Jones the truth? I wondered. I started to imagine about what people would say if I told them the truth. Everybody would know what I had done, that I had spent the money that didn't belong to me. I would probably end up getting kicked out of Girl Scouts. I never heard of anybody getting kicked out of Girl Scouts. It was probably one of the worst things that could happen to a kid. Like getting kicked out of nursery school. It was the kind of thing that nobody would forget. I tossed and turned some more. Go to sleep, Willie. You're keeping me awake, Tina said. Her bed is on the other side of the room, but I guess she could hear me moving around. I can't. Count fish, Tina said. I tried. I'm usually asleep before the 10th fish jumps and dives, but tonight it didn't work. The fish had made me think about fish and chips, one of my favorite meals. That made me think about Lena and Lana again. I wondered what they had for dinner. That made me remember the cookie money and how $5.75 was all that was left. I started to worry again about what would I say when my mom asked me to get it on Monday. Then my pillow fell on the floor. When I reached down to get it, I knocked the lamp off the table near my bed. What in the world is wrong with you? Tina yelled. I've got a lot of things on my mind, I said, and I got back into bed. Like what? Did you think that Mrs. Cotton was mean to Lena and Lana today? I asked. Yeah. She's always been mean to somebody, Tina said. Didn't you know that Lena and Lana didn't get enough to eat? Tina didn't say anything. I thought maybe she was asleep. But then she said, really? You know how every day after you and I get lunch, Lena and Lana get dessert? Yeah, that's really cool, Tina said. Remember how last week they came to school with that big turkey and cheese submarine and they ate half and then wrapped it up and took it home? Yeah, their aunt must be the bomb. Give them all that money to spend on food, Tina said. They didn't get the money from her aunt, I said. Then where did they get it? They got it from me, I said. Tina sat up in bed. From you, Willie? Where did you get it? I gave them cookie money. I couldn't believe it, but I said it. It was out. Tina gasped. Even in the dark, I could see her shaking her head. I thought there was some reason you had not turned in your cookie money. You gave them all of it? Why? I told you, because they were hungry, and I wanted to help, I said. But I only gave them $20 of it. Tina didn't say anything for a long while. There was no noise at all in her room. I thought she had gone to sleep, but then she sat up again. Whew, that's a drag, Willie. I know, I said. Big trouble, she said. I know. No TV, I said. No TV for a long time, Tina replied. Just a little too quickly. So, what are you going to do when Monday comes, she asked. I don't know, Tina. I just don't know. Then I did something that I hated to do more than anything in the world, especially in front of Tina. I cried. I cried for Lena and Lana because their mother was sick. I cried because I hated how mean Mrs. Cotton had been to them. And I cried because I'd spent the cookie money and I let everyone down. Then Tina did something that made me forgive her for all the mean stuff she'd ever done for me and to me. She came and sat down on my bed. She put her arms around me and held me very tight. Don't worry, Willie. I'll come up with a plan, she said. What kind of plan, Tina? I don't know yet. It will have to be something where we can make money fast, by next Monday. But what, Tina? What? Have I ever let you down before? I could think of at least 5 times where she had, but I didn't say it. Don't worry, Willie. Now go to sleep, she said. And I did.